Morning you guys, another tips and tricks video. This time it's a 36D Series 7 and it comes with a 2.5 Chevy. Here in South Africa the Chevys, a lot of Chevys came out with those carbs on with the 36D series, and I'm fortunate to have a proper jet chart for them, factory jet chart, so I'll jet it according to that. But the guy said it doesn't idle and doesn't ride nice and everything. So the first thing I want to do is check out the idle channel, idle jet. I also want to compare the jets to what's supposed to be according to that. Anyway, here we go. So here's the carby. I noticed it doesn't have an idle screw. The guy said to me the car actually idles, gets it to idle when he removes it, so there must be something wrong. I'll check all the idle channels, but I just want to check this jet as well. And it's completely blocked. I'll also check the size of that. This idle jet is a 50, and according to the chart it's supposed to be a 45, so I'll have to change that. But it feels, now it's open. Managed to get it open. The two main jets are supposed to be both, sorry for that, 135s. I just want to check what they are. That's a 125, so that's not right. Let's check the other side quickly. Look at that. Look at that. Jeez, like. And that's a 130. I can see why this carb didn't want to run. It is just horrible. Look at that jet. Anyway, time to take it apart. Remember, every time you take something like this apart, have a little tub nearby, so that you put everything that you take off, you put in that tub, and when you're done, the tub's got to be empty. If it's not empty, you've forgotten something. And that way also, like me that do a lot of carbs, I don't get the spares mixed up. I saw something else here on the idle, on that plunger. I see for some reason it's soldered closed. It could also contribute to it giving problems during acceleration and idle, obviously. It doesn't look too bad, although there's a lot of dirt there. See there, there's a lot of dirt. That's the inside of the carby. It's filthy. Anyway, time to clean it. This air jet is supposed to be a 226, it's a 215. And this is supposed to be, I think, a 220, I said. Yeah. And that's a 125. That's not a 125. Someone put a drilling machine to it. Jeez, like. I can't trust any of these jets. Someone has drilled that out. Anyway, this is no joke. This is what came out the carb. No joke. I've never ever seen this in a carby. Anyway, I'll check the size of the emulsion tubes and the size of the spray pump, but yeah, it's gonna have a seriously. Just a few more things that I found with this carby. On the 2.5 Sev, first choke must be at 26 and the second must be at 27. So when I removed it, there's the 26 in the second choke, and the 27 is in the first choke, so they were the wrong way around. Then something that's rather disturbing, I don't know if you can see there, they've turned in the idle screw so hard that it's actually distorted the body over there. I checked it, it still sort of seats, so that's a bit concerning for me, and there's a lot of gunk there. So, but yes, time for a clean on this one. So when I took this little filter out, I expected to see a lot of that red stuff there, but it's actually not too bad. So I think this guy was using the car without an air filter on gravel roads. That's why that flow chamber was so filthy. But this was really not too bad. I must just take this apart and see what the story is with that, see if that little plunger is there, clean everything out, and then we're ready for assembly. Just a little tip when doing the emulsion tubes, make sure all the holes are open. So put a bit of car cleaner down there and make sure they all spray like that. Quite cool, eh? Also gives you the effect on how they work. It also had the wrong spring in by this little plunger here. That's supposed to suck down when you accelerate and pop back when you idle. And it couldn't have done it with that. So I'm going to replace that with the correct one. Fine. Nothing wrong with it. Conclusion. Number one, they ran it without an air filter. That's why there was so much gunk in that cobby. Number two, someone was drilling out those jets. There's nothing wrong with drilling jets when you're experimenting, but you've got to write down what you do. And you've got to obviously file the old number off. Otherwise you look at a 115 and you think it's a 115, but it's a 130 and you don't know that. And you're just going in the wrong direction. I sometimes use older jets, but I would hold it next to a new one, and you can actually see the holes, and you can take it from that, whether it's been drilled or not. I've got tons of jets lying here that's been soldered and drilled and just butchered. So yeah, big thing, if you drill your jets, try and mark them. We don't have small number punches, I haven't seen any. But just keep them in compartments where you know they are, where you know what the sizes are. And so important, use an air filter. Use an air filter, use a proper fuel filter. I've seen lots of gunk inside carbs that came through the fuel filter. Small little metal filings and all kinds of stuff. It's unbelievable, you cannot believe it. So anyway, no air filter on this one, jetty. Really hope this helps someone. Keep safe.